Hello, everybody. This is Elissa from Main Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for a kit up and chat. So today's a kit up and chat / whip and chat, I guess you could say. I'm not actually whipping, I'm kidding. Basically, this is where I'm going to kit up a canvas for you guys, and we'll chat while we're kitting this up, and that was going to be my video for the week. So I am actually kitting up kitchen cats, and this is from Liubka, of course, because I wanted to do I was trying to figure out which kit I wanted to do for the event, and I went with kitchen cats. So when I kit up, when I'm using the new style, I save these because these go in my logbook. So in case you're curious, this is kitchen cats from the artist Liubka. It's 22 colors, round drills. It's a 42.6 by 42.6. This will be my first Liubka that I will actually worked on, and I'm super excited for it because I really I'm like super excited. I actually am swapping out all of the yellows you see in here are going to be swapped out for these blues over in here, and then I am adding just a handful of enhancements for it. I didn't want to get over the top, especially because I have added, so I'm completely doing color swaps. So I've got these are my enhancements right here. Basically these 4 drills right there is what I'm enhancing. I have a pixie dust, an AB, and then 2 crystal ABs that I'm doing. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna basically be swapping all of these yellow tones that we see are gonna turn into these blues over in here. I'm gonna kit it up like this, and then I'll pull over the canvas and I will show you how I completely prepped my canvases for work. I do need to rewrite my my little cheat sheet of what I'm going to be doing for my enhancement swaps, but since I have not actually kitted this up yet, I figured this would be the perfect, I'm actually going to kit it up with these into my Elizabeth Ward containers. So I pretty much exclusively use Elizabeth Ward containers. Well, I don't pretty much exclusively, I do exclusively use the Elizabeth Ward containers for kitting up. So we're going to go through and do this. I will eventually rewrite this. This was from when I did the video of how to do it. So I'm going to slide those things out of the way. That does tell me what it is when I come to it. So I use my Elizabeth Ward tray for kitting up into, and then I do my, this I believe is from Bella Art de Nicole, and then this I think is like a freebie tray. It used to say DP with sparklers on the side, but this is like my kit up combo. I always have to kit up into a tray just because I hate making a mess. When I get this new style, I kind of come down, if it's only 1 sheet of colors, then I kind of get rid of all of the extras, so that way I have what I can just work with. So we are going to, let me like, too many, I'm like, I swear they constantly are changing things on our phones. So I need to, we're going to kind of change this up a little bit, and we're going to go to, there we go. I do not disturb. There we are. For 1 hour, because I hate getting all of like the notifications while I am trying to do this. It's always so distracting for me because I'm like, oh, is it on my watch? All right, so this is gonna be my kit up process that we're gonna go through, and we're gonna chat a little bit. So this is going to be for the Legendary Liubka event that is being hosted by Laura over at Anxiety Art Adventures, and then myself. She graciously asked if I would host it with her. When I do my canvases and kit up, I do not actually normally cut my colors ahead of time like this. This was so that I could plan out and plot my kitting up process. That's why you're seeing these all separated like this. I don't normally do this. So we're going to take all of these oranges and put them off to the side, and then we're going to kind of get into the other colors that I have. I use my bag here as my trash bag. I know, crinkle. So I usually put all of the trash in there as I'm working. I actually like to have the trash over on the right side. I take a drink of water before I started into it. And I usually keep my drills in their chains of color. This one's easy because it's not like we have a whole lot of colors to work with. They are pretty minimalistic as far as what we've got color palette wise. So it does make it a little bit easier for the kitting up process, and then I'll kit up the specials. So I will be doing a video probably later this week, probably Thursday or Friday. I will have a video that goes up that is going to be basically, let's see, will those all fit in one tray? I think so. I'll be doing a video later this week that'll go up that will be kind of like showcasing the sponsors. I know Laura already did one of those. I will also be doing one. I might end up doing like breaking it into 2 videos because you guys know me, I talk a lot. But we're going to be doing that. But for this video, we're going to be kind of kitting up, and you guys will want to like keep your ears peeled for the keyword that I'm going to try to remember to say partway through this video, because that keyword is going to be what you're going to need to comment in, use in a full sentence in the comments below at some point between now and next week, Monday. because that's when the we will be drawing winners for this week's prizes will be next Monday during the Monday Night Live on Laura's channel over at Anxiety Art Adventures. And I've been jumping in on her lives this month, so it's a great chance to see both of us live together. Usually we talk about cats because, I mean, what else is there but cats? Hey, Carcass, what did you just throw on the floor? Brat child. That was not something that needed to be sushi thrown. You know better. That's not a toy for Carcass. She's in a mood because I wouldn't let her in the closet. So this is my floof right here. Well, one of my floofs. Hey, floofy butt. Here, Carcass, Susu. She's like, no, Mom, I won't look. There's the face. She's like, oh, no. She's mad at me because I would not let her in my closet while I was pulling out these special drills. And she very much took that as an affront to her little cat and dignity. So she was like, how dare you not let me in the closet, Mom? Because they're not allowed in my diamond painting closet. So anyways, as you can see, I very scattered because, you know, cat distractions. But I mean, that's what happens when you have cats. I wouldn't change it for anything, but it is very distracting sometimes. So anyways, as you can see, I do my kit up a little bit differently than most other people. I tend to kind of do, I don't cut the chain. I leave it all fully together like this, and I work from it as like a chain. To me, I find that it really actually saves me time. It was 30-42, because otherwise, if you're doing it like one at a time, what I find happens, at least for me, is you spend all this time cutting, and then once everything is cut, you have to spend all your time then, you know, doing it. Some people will put them in order. I'm like, I just go in this order, which typically from Diamond Art Club ones, the order that it comes in, it's basically done from like largest quantity to smallest quantity, which makes it a little bit easier for me for the kitting up period, because I can kind of be like, okay, these ones are going to fit in this tray, these ones will have to be in a bigger container, and so on and so forth. And then I will just kind of work through them just like this, as you can see me doing right here. That's what I do. It does take some skill. I have dropped the bags a couple times, as is wont to happen pretty much with anything. And then periodically we get some static. And when I get static like this, I usually end up having to blow in it. I find that that's honestly, realistically, the only thing that has helped to do it in any kind of assembly, like semblance of order. So I do kind of do a little bit of that. So we're going to kind of put that there. I do need to peel back these to make it easier to pull them out. This has only got 22 colors, which is nice because it's like a low color count. Because to me, I'm like, there's so many that get like crazy high color counts. So we're just gonna kind of keep going with our kit up. So I hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. I know I normally do my WIP Chats on Saturdays, so this is a little bit later. You guys did not get a Saturday WIP Chat from me, but you're getting it today. So last week, like a week ago Saturday, actually, I went to a concert. Sushi, what are you doing? I went to a concert. It was a K-pop girl band called Twice. They've been around for about 10 years. I think they just celebrated their 10th year of together as a group. So I went to that concert. They're also, if you're a fan of the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, Twice is the one that did the original soundtrack for Takedown, the song in the movie. And what was really cool is they actually performed that song in the actual concert. So that was really fun. Seeing it kind of performed live by Twice, who were part of it. Sushi, what are you doing? She's like, I must chew on this cover minder. She's got my Mana Kaneko Lucky Cat cover minder that she's trying to chew on. Have to breathe in it to try to kind of handle some of this static that it's going to be. I wish there was a good solution for static, because that is like the bane of all of our existences. So anyways, I drove down Saturday. I had a VIP soundcheck tickets, which I don't even know how I managed to score those tickets, because I think it was really last minute for me to jump in and like, I was like, oh, hey, tickets go on sale today for this concert or something, like really short notice like that. And I jumped on and I was able to actually score VIP soundcheck tickets, and they were actually seated tickets. So I didn't have to do the whole, like the general, admission for it. Cause if you're in the pit, you'd get the general admission, and it basically, it's like you pay some of the highest prices for those tickets, but at the same time, you have to wait all day in line to get your place of when you get to enter for those tickets. And I'm like, I'm not all about that life. So instead of that, I was like, you know what? I was like, I did that for Stray Kids for one of the concerts last year, and it was totally an awesome experience. But at the same time, I'm like, For this concert, I'm gonna go with the seated ones. I don't want to have to fight for a seat for a band that I'm like, okay, I like them, but they're not like my to die for band. Like if it was Stray Kids or like BTS or Big Bang, then absolutely I would be fighting for like those VIP floor tickets. But I actually was really happy with how they had the stage set up. The stage was really tall, so I don't even know that the people that were like front row on the floor, that were standing front row, I feel like they didn't even really get a good view because the stage was so tall. I felt taller than normal stages. But so yeah, I drove down to Orlando for the concert. That was down in Orlando, so I drove down for the concert. It's usually about so with traffic, it's like 2.5 hours to where the concert was, to the Kia Stadium. So I went down there, and the drive had some traffic towards the end of the drive as I was getting closer, but it was really pretty uneventful overall. And then once I got down and, you know, I parked, and I, you know, paid for parking for like right there. And I've parked at that stadium before, so it's like I've been at concerts there before, so I know how it tends to go. So that part was pretty straightforward. Got my parking and I had timed it where they had actually already opened the doors so you could go inside, like to walk around the perimeter of the inside of the center, but you couldn't actually go into like the actual stadium or into like the arena area yet. That they didn't let you into the arena until like, let's see, sound check was at 6, so it was at 5 o'clock that they actually let you into the arena. So that was fine. I was like, I'll just eat something and sit out there. So I just ate some food, sat out. What color did I just put in there? Oh gosh, I think it was 453. Yeah. See, this is why I normally don't throw the bag away until I have actually put the sticker on, because I don't do it first. I do it secondary like this. So, oh, that one's got more to it. So we're probably gonna need, let's go ahead and try this. And if this one's too much, then I can always downsize it to one of the smaller ones. But these feel like full bags, so I think we're gonna need the larger container that I'm using. So yeah, I did a concert. The concert was great. It was good. And one of the things that I do really love about K-pop concerts is you only get one band. So if you're going there to see twice, you're seeing twice for an entire like 2.5 hours, up to 3 hours, depending on some bands. So you're literally going there to see the band you're seeing the band that you were there to see. So that's one of the things that I do really love about K-pop concerts. Yeah, I needed that container. They are literally for the, they're for the ones that you actually are there to see. So this will give me an idea of how many of each of these colors I need. I'm going to kind of place these out, and let's see, our 740, 41, these two, and then this one are all going to be ones that'll go in the smallest containers. So yeah, it was, let's see, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. The next 4 we're going to go with here. 40 is going to be 7. And I'm replacing that with the 796, Crystal AB 796. So we're gonna do this one. And I don't need very much of it, so we're just gonna kind of pour a little in, because that way I can like take care of these and not have to have them sitting out on my desk while I'm working on this. So we're gonna put this here, because I already know kind of like what my cheat sheet is for it. So anytime I see that symbol, I've got the color it's gonna be. And we're gonna put this over so I can use it for extras. And then we have 741, which is 995, Crystal AB 995. So yeah, and then after the concert, I drove back home. The drive back is always quicker because there's never traffic at like, you know, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, at least not in that area. So it was smooth sailing driving back. I usually end up stopping at the Buc-ee's in Daytona Beach for, for gas, because that's like a good partially there point. 3823 is, this is symbol H. It's going to be my dust drill, 3756. So yeah, it was one of those things where I was very happy with the concert. And then Sunday, I ended up mowing my lawn on Sunday. So that was basically what I spent Sunday doing, mowing the lawn. You know, gotta be an adult and do things like that. So mowed the lawn on Sunday. And then after I mowed the lawn, then it was a matter of, I just kind of like chilled for the rest of the day. Let's see, this one, J, is going to be AB 995. So that's going to be basically a full container based off of that for this one here. So yeah, I mowed the lawn. I was very productive in that aspect. So I was very pleased. I got it mowed. It looks pretty good. I need some more drills in there. I did end up, after mowing the lawn, it was kind of one of those things. I did that, and then I didn't do anything as far as like cleaning up any of the weeds and overgrowth that I have. But this week, that was something I actually did Friday night when I got home from work. I actually went out with the clippers and clipped all of the hedges and shrubbery type stuff in the front, because I had stuff that was super overgrown. I still need to do it in the backyard, but that's, you know, on the to-do list as I progress. Once I finish these last couple colors of kitting up, then we will probably end up going for our number. So 743, 744, and 745. So we're gonna go with 743, which is going to be, this is the part that's a little bit slower. That's going to be our 813. That's gonna be this one right here. That's okay. Let me dump these colors just in case this makes a mess, because it's in a weird one. And granted, these are not, you know, like resin drills. I think these are acrylic drills, but they work and they do the job, because I don't know too many, I haven't found a place where I can buy replacement replacement resin rounds other than Jaded Gem Shop, and that's something that I didn't want to have to wait, because those are ones that they do end up having to ship from China when you buy them from her. And I didn't want, when you buy the rounds from her, she has the squares in storage or in like at her place, but she doesn't have the rounds. So she always orders the rounds, and I'm like, I did not want to have to wait to get those in. So we did the 813, which is 743. So yes, they are, that means, you know, may look slightly different than the other stuff, but I'm really not concerned about it. And that was that color. So now we've got 744. This is one where we're gonna have a ton of this color. Let's see, it's 3 bags. So those 3 bags are usually, it's probably gonna be, I should probably just use this tall container for it, because that's 3 bags, and that's what would totally fill up this one. And that's gonna be my 30, let's see, so that's 744. 3841, yes. So anywho, so yeah, I did the concert, mowed the lawn. Yeah, this week, great. Friday night, I ended up, like I said, doing a whole big passel of stuff. We're just gonna pour these in here and then pour them out, because that's just annoying. Oh, you're ridiculous, Mo. Why are you caterwauling? Oh, she's got the spring in her mouth. That's why she's caterwauling. She's got a toy. But anyways, yeah, so I did yard work. I was really pleased with the progress that I made on. I got a whole massive pile of branches and stuff pulled, so that way I don't have to worry about it. That should go with trash on, they usually come around and take that the same day that the trash goes. So that will probably end up being what, like Tuesday? But I got that, which will, yeah, today. Or well, I'm not filming this on Tuesday. I'm filming this before Tuesday, because obviously I can't film it on Tuesday. But anyways, they got the, gosh, distracting myself. I haven't done an actual kit up and chat in so long, you guys. So I'm like all scattered as I try to do this. This is going to be a bad idea. Yeah, bad idea. But I'm committed, so we're going with it. Yep, see, like I said, bad idea. Oh, that did not work out how I planned. All right, let's go ahead and pick up my mess that I just made. But this is when I just kind of like scrape them all over, and I use the tray to pour them into. But anywho, Mochi is so funny. She's playing with her toy. But yeah, so that was a big part of what I did this past week. I did a little bit of the yard work. I had the concert, and then like work, lots and lots of work. Always so much fun with work. But what's kind of cool is one of the positions that I had applied for and did not get like a year ago actually has come back open again. So now I'm going to apply for that position. So I'm fingers crossed that I will get that position. I have to interview for it, whole 9 yards, but the fingers crossed I can get that position, because I would love to have that particular position. So we will see if that happens or not. I'm hopeful that it will. And yeah. If I do get it, I will let you guys know that I got that position, but it would be a good leadership position. I've got everything. I've literally done everything I possibly can in preparation for I need to just pour these back into the tray. That worked better. I've done everything that I can to set myself up for success for this, this coming like promotion cycle. Now it's just a matter of playing the waiting game and seeing if I actually promote. They'll do the board for promotion. That is going to be on, May. That's in May. And then you won't get the actual results of it until, we won't get the actual results of the board until August. So even though the board is May, we don't find out until August, which is kind of like, I hate having to wait that long to find out, but you know, it is what it is. And we're gonna pour these other ones back in there because we're like, that's close enough. It's a full container. So yeah, I just have to play the waiting game on that promotion wise and see if I actually picked up. But if I don't, I'm like, I don't know what else I could do because it's like my record is literally as strong as it could possibly get. So yes, that's always the frustrating stuff of like going for promotions. Now my stuff is all kitted up, and now I'm going to organize it because I'll show you guys how I like to organize my drills and go from there. But this is the perfect time that you guys can go ahead and use the word black because black cats are super fun. So we're going to use the word black in a sentence for that, and that is going to be, let me see, how many does this take up roughly? That. So use the word black in a full sentence, and that's going to be what we do for my word of the week, I guess you could say. And now let's see where we're at. And I'm always so quick about it, like literally 20 minutes to kit this up. And that was me with me making a mess. So if you guys have cats, I also love, like, black cats are super fun. I do not own a black cat. I have a blue tabby and white, which means that she's gray. So a gray, basically she looks like she's gray, but it's called, in her particular breed, that's called blue. So I have a blue tabby and white, that's Mochi. And both of my girls are Devon Rexes, in case you're wondering, which just means that they have like a little bit different look than many other cats. And that's just because of their breed and how they basically come out. They have a very pixie, like a little pixie type look to them. They're ridiculous. I love them to pieces. Let's see my arrows. I always sort. In case you wondered what I'm doing, I'm sorting my drills and putting them in a different order because I do not like the generic order. So I will have like arrows and directional stuff, and then I'll have all of the dot type ones together in simple shapes, but I don't have any simple shapes in here. So we're just going to do the dots. And then we have our arrows. We've got upper right, we have right, down, and U-turn. And yeah, so with the cats, I may end up actually starting this kit for you guys because this is way too much, like way too short for me to call this like an actual full whip and chat. So with the cats, I have two. Like I said, I've got Mochi, who is my blue tabby and white. She is my angel baby. And then I have Sushi, who is my chaos demon. She is a tortie tabby, or a torby, but she is orange, tortie, and tabby. See, look at that. Now we have our drills all fully kitted up, and you can see our blues next to the other kind of like earthy tones and grays and everything else. But that's going to be how I tend to kit up. Some people will kit up by color, which looks really cool when people kit up by color. I do not. I kit up with numbers, and then I do alphabetical order, and then I do like the dots, or like those, which is like 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, so on and so forth. Then I'll do arrows, and then I'll do like shapes, but I kind of try to put those shapes into some semblance of order. So this is fully kit up. Now I can move our trash out of the way. I always put these in here because that's my thing of like, okay, this is the kit that I'm working on, because I always have a bunch of kits kitted up. And to me, doing it like this is the easiest way to tell what I have kitted up, because then I can like literally go like this and pop it in a tower or pop it wherever, and I know that this is the drills for this canvas, and then I don't have to worry about it. So now that we've done that, we are going to pull out the actual canvas, and we're going to get that ready and done and go from there. We are going to use this fun washi tape right here to go with. I feel like the pinks will go good with the blues, and it has little cats on them, so I thought that would be perfect to do from here. So yes, and then we will get into it, and go from there. So yes. So anyways, I have my two cats. Sushi is my chaos demon. She's also a spicy tuna. And like I said, she is a, tortie tabby, and she's orange tabby with a tortie mix. So that's why she kind of has like that almost throw up coloring to her. because she's that torty tabby. She is ridiculous and on so many levels. So ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this backwards. I like to put my washi this way, but I like it to be in a certain way. So this one is gonna have to go from this side over, which is not the way I normally work. So I like a washi border because most canvases come where the glue kind of oversprays a little bit past the edge of the canvas, and I personally like the washi border, one because it kind of covers up that little bit of like overlying glue and then it doesn't get all nasty and cruddy. But then two, I also think it gives like a really cute finished, like a really nice finished look to the canvas, because I don't frame them, I don't hang them, I kind of leave them as is. So for me, it's kind of one of those things that when you see the washi border on it, it just gives it like a finishing touch. It's gonna look really weird right now because the border is pink and then it's got the yellows on here, but I'm not doing any of these yellows, so that's gonna be kind of like a moot point. I really should be working the other way. Let me go back the other way because of how I like to work. So we've got to go there. I was trying to do it the way I normally do, but I have to do this backwards on this one just because of the way the washi is set up, because I want the cats on the outside. So anywho, so Torty Tabby, Orange Torty Tabby, and she is so funny, but she has so many brains. She definitely has like skipped the sharing of the single brain cell that you find with a lot of like orange cats and orange tabbies. She does not have that. She is the most ridiculously smart little carcass ever. Aren't you, Susu? Susu. Yes, you pretty carcass. She's like, what? I was giving myself a bath, Mom. She's ridiculously smart. So smart. She's also my little Klingon. So if I'm doing something, I typically have a little shoulder parrot, i.e. Sushi, hanging out on my shoulders. She just likes to be with me. No, I took a bath the other day. See, I don't normally work this direction. I took a bath yesterday, or well, no, wait, no, Saturday. Yeah. So I took a bath on Saturday, and it was super funny because I have to use the spare bathroom because I don't have a bathtub in my master. So I was using the spare bathroom, and the cats aren't typically allowed in the bathroom unless I'm like actively showering, because a certain little chaos demon likes to climb shower curtains. And she was like, for the first portion, I had to like fill the tub up, and it was slow. So as I was filling the tub, I had the bathroom door closed, and Sushi was just so mad that she like couldn't go into the bathroom, especially if I walked in there without her. She's like, let me in. I'm gonna yell at you through the door. I need to be in here. And then as I'm in the bathtub, she's like up on the edge of the tub edge, and she's like trying to climb on me, and I'm like, you know, you're gonna get yourself wet. She's like, well, let me drink your bath water because, you know, I'm a cat. I'm like, you are just ridiculous. But mostly it was like, she was like, I must be with you. I will, like, if I had let her, she would have like literally been walking along any of me that was exposed from the water, because, you know, she has to be on me. And I'm like, no, ma'am. But anywho, Mochi is definitely not as needy. At least not for me. She's needy to my mom. So now we have our washi tape border. And now I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start this since I have so much time left. We're sitting at like, I still have half an hour left that we can, you know, record. So I may actually end up starting this. I think I might want to start, do I want to start with some of the yellows? Ooh, maybe do something totally different and off the wall and start over in here so we can see what the yellows look like on this as I go. I will have to turn that off because we don't want that glare on there now that I'm done with that portion. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and start it and see how it looks, because I've already got the colors kit up. So now I just need to grab accessories and adjust things so that way I've got working space. So we got my drills, and we're gonna actually gonna work because we've got half an hour left of time. All right, we're gonna get started now. So I am using, I would be using our sponsors putty, but it's so cute. I could not bring myself to utilize it. It's the cutest putty ever. I have it over in my my cabinet right now. It is so cute. Otherwise, I totally would have used it, but I'm like, I can't use it, like, because then it's used. But they're these like super cute little kitty cats. Oh my gosh, are they the most ridiculously adorable things ever? So I'm gonna use my Randa's Crafty Corner putty. So in case you forgot what we're working on Kitchen Cats by Liubka. We did a color swap for it. And I just need to load some extra putty. I have this super cute Manikineko Lucky Cat for my cover minder that I'm using for this, which realistically, I should go get my I just ordered my Liubka, my Legendary Liubka cover minder from Shire Shenanigans, which is another one of our sponsors. Which I have a couple of cover minders actually right here that I could use from her. Let's go ahead and swap it. Well, I kind of want the cat, so I have some cat ones. I should go get a cat cover minder. I might do that, but like these are a couple of them from. Well, this is Diamond Delights and Shire Shenanigan collaboration, where you actually diamond paint the cover minder, which is super fun. This is one that a friend of mine did acrylic marker pens onto. Acrylic paint pens to paint it, but this is one because she sponsored the Sparkle and Shine Retreat. And I should go get a cat cover minder. Let me do that because, you know, I need that. All right, I am back. This is one of my Shire Shenanigans cat cover minders. I find it absolutely ridiculous. We're going to use this one because, I mean, come on. Why would we not? She does have an event cover minder that which is the cutest thing ever. I love it. I have purchased it. But you know, I'm completely failed to purchase it ahead of time. So it is, you know, en route to me. I should be getting it in the next few days. I have the shipping notification. I also am using the We Wax Craft Sandalwood Vanilla, which is one of the most heavenly scents ever. I was so happy that I chose this scent for the Lunar New Year DP Along event. And now we're going to kind of break into, let's see, I have like 30 minutes we can paint. So we're going to kind of peel back this area and work on this one. I usually don't use this perforated cover per se. Ooh. I don't normally use it, but we're going to do so. Because realistically, when I work on this canvas, I'm probably just going to rip the entire plastic cover off because I'll work on it on my my easel, on my desk, or on my easel, not flat like this. But we're going to work like this for right now so you guys can see kind of how it'll look. We're going to start with some of the blues that we're going to do and go from there. And go from there. All right, so we're doing that symbol. So anyways, yeah, my week has been overall pretty like low-key straightforward. We've had a little bit of like the busyness with the concert. I was supposed to, let's see, so Friday we were supposed to have like all of the officers go do like a first Friday of the month get together for like a happy hour over at our the restaurant at our golf shop, at our golf course. I did not go. I was kind of like, you know, it's Friday. I'm tired. It's been a long week. I can't want to stay until, you know, like 4 or 5 o'clock to go do this and socialize. So I ended up leaving. I think I ended up leaving at like 2:30 on Friday. I left a little bit early, but our civilians had what we call a 59, which is where they get to leave work 59 minutes early, because then, you know, so if they work until 4, they got to leave at 3:01. Because that was 1 hour into, or 1 minute into the new hour. So then, you know, they would get paid for having worked that whole hour. So our civilians can get that. So I was like, well, if that's what the hospital's at for civilians, I'm just going to call it and not, you know, stay super late myself. All of my staff were basically done seeing patients. The last patient was already done, and everybody was just, you know, in the note writing stage, and I'm like, I'm done. It's Friday. For some people, it's a holiday. Like, all of the schools in the area had the day off, and I'm like, ugh. So half my staff had taken the day off as well, because, you know, they had to, you know, take care of kids, that type of thing, which I'm like, I feel like businesses like this, you know, should be able to have, like, if the kids aren't working, if the schools aren't in, then, you know, work isn't in. That would just make life so much easier, especially for so many of my staff with kids, because I can pretty much guarantee, oh, it's a school holiday, they're going to call out. And, you know, if it was something that we knew ahead of time, it'd be so much better, because if they call out, that's all of those patients that we then have to call and reschedule, versus, you know, if it was known in advance, hey, you're not actually going to be there because, you know, your kids have the holiday, rather than waiting until like the morning of to tell me that you're not going to be there, just take the day off ahead of time. Like, I'm more than happy to give it to you off ahead of time if you want it. Just give me that advance notice, because that does get kind of old when my staff are like, a couple of my staff members are pretty consistent. If like school's out, then they are calling out, and I'm like, don't just call out. You know school's going to be out. You know you're going to have to be home to take care of the kids. Just do the whole, you know, plan ahead. You know school's out. Just tell me you're going to take the day off. You're still charged for leave regardless if you call out or whatnot. It doesn't matter to me. Just take it off so I don't have to deal with like having to do all of the rescheduling rigmarole, because that definitely gets tedious. So anywho, we have So that's something that, you know, has always been one of those like tedious things about being in a leadership position when you're like, really, I can't like run a clinic if you're constantly easily when you guys are calling out like that. So as you can see, I'm placing the blue color right over an orange and yellow drill field, and really it does not look bad at all. Yes, you can see the, you can see the yellow behind the drills, but the drill field is good enough that it's like, yeah, you see it, but it's not like your eye is like, oh my gosh, that's yellow back there. Once I finish filling in this, it'll really, like, you guys will see the difference. Yeah, you'll notice it, but it's not one of those things where you're like, oh my gosh, that's a yellow canvas. It's more, your eye basically processes it as blue and tends to ignore all of the yellow once I get it finished. You'll see that as I finish adding all of these colors in. It's just how our eyes tend to process. It's like if you were looking at words and you can have the word jumbled, all of the letters of the word, but if it's in a sentence, your eye and your brain can basically automatically like translate it. And that's why it's so hard sometimes when you're trying to proofread and you're like, I'm not noticing it. And that's because your brain is basically, as you're reading, your brain is processing it as the actual word, even though it may be spelled wrong. It's amazing the power that our brain has in those things right there. So yeah. Oh, I was talking about cats before I distracted myself. So I've got my my 2 chaos gremlins. Well, my chaos gremlin and my angel baby. And Mochi is all of, she just turned 6. Can you believe it? January was her birthday. She just turned 6. She does not feel like she's a 6-year-old. She's such a tiny baby still. She's still a small cat. We're going to put these ones down right here because I am working, and that's peeled back to right there. So we're going to go ahead and do that to right there. So that way I've got it in this section. Because I like to work in sections. Realistically, I would be working in a massive section of this canvas, not this tiny section here. This is a very small section for me. Normally, I would be doing this section would be at least 1/4 of this painting. But realistically, it would be like my normal size section would be half the height of the canvas, and then for this one I would have just gone halfway if I was sectioning it. But for something this small, I typically will just rip the entire cover off and go from there. But so far, you know, it doesn't look too bad. We're gonna fill in the C next, which is another shade of blue. We're gonna fill that one in. Actually, I want my larger tray for that. So I'm using Yellow Dog Designs trays. I am very like picky on my trays. I need to go I use these trays. I will end up buying the trays from our sponsor. I haven't used a Creations Morin tray in a hot minute, so I may end up deciding that I actually do like it. We will see. But I've been so picky. I've basically been, if you guys have been watching for a while, you guys know that I've basically been using these 2 trays for quite a hot minute. I should go get a different pen too, but can't be bothered. Hi, Mom. So anywho, that's where we're at. I grew up, we always had cats growing up. We always had the barn cat, because I grew up on a farm. So we always had barn cats, but then, and like one of them that we had, I remember we had Smudge. I think he was like a gray and white Tom. He was a big guy. He lived in the barn. And then we had Callie. She was a calico, obviously, hence the name Callie. But Callie was kind of like a combination of house/barn cat for the longest time. And that was because, we basically she was bottle fed. So some friends of ours, one of the moms, she drove a bus in the school district, and one of the kids had said when she went to go pick them up in the morning, had found a box of kittens in by a dumpster. So she ended up rescuing them all, and we took one of the kittens, and that was Callie. And I still remember being a tiny little kid, and Callie would lay on my chest, and she would literally suck on my shirt. I would wake up in the morning because she'd lay on my chest, knead, and suck on my shirt, and I'd wake up with like big wet spots on my shirt in the morning because she was sucking on my shirt. But she was such a sweetie. She mostly lived outside. She would still come inside at times. And then we, I think at one, she just didn't take well to us moving cross state. I think she ended up, She was pretty old though. She was pretty decent age-wise because we had her when I was like a kid. Maybe when I was like 6 or so is when we got her. And I want to say that she was probably approaching 20 before we ended up losing her. And that was like a combination of inside-outside life, but basically primarily as the barn cat. We did also have our house cats. So we actually raised, we bred and showed Himalayan and Persian long hairs. So we did the Himalayans and Persians and bred them, showed them, and we also had some exotic short hairs. And it all started with, like, we had Baby and Mister. Mister was a silver tabby, and then Baby was an actual tabby. And she was mine. I used to dress her up as a baby, and push her around in, like, my baby stroller thing, and push her around in a little stroller. Oh my goodness. She was the sweetest little thing ever. But we started with Baby and Mister, and then we had like raised more and so on and so forth. And eventually, you know, we were down to, you know, we stopped with the cats, and we had just my mom's cat Treasure, she was a Himalayan, and she was so pretty, such a pretty girl. But anyways, yeah, we had them, and then like we always had the cats, and we always had Pomeranians as well, because we also raised and showed Pomeranians. And it, like, finally we got to the point where, you know, we were done doing all of that, but we still had Bear, who was the last of the Poms, and he was, you know, two of our favorite Poms that we had was my Holly Bow. She was black, and then she was one of the grandmas. And I think we ended up losing her when I was in college is when we ended up losing her, which was super sad because she was my Holly. She was my baby. And then we had Minnie, and Minnie was a black and tan. She was super cute, and they were both super dainty. Holly had a tendency to get overweight. But yeah, but we always had the dogs. And we had Treasure for quite a long while as well, and the cats. But then after you know, we didn't have any cats for a long time, and my parents still don't have any cats now. But I had Mylan, my pug, and then I got Momo, my little angel baby. Hey, Momo. Yes, you. Hi. You're pretty. You're pretty, Mo. And then I got Mochi because I was like, Mylan needs a playmate, but I'm going to get a cat because having 2 dogs just does not sound like a smart idea for somebody who works all day and is gone frequently for work stuff. So I ended up getting Mochi. She joined the family, and then as Mylan's health started to fail, that's when I ended up getting Sushi. And Sushi's little chaos self is 2.5. She'll be 3 in June. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just want her to, like, develop that chill, laid back vibe that Mochi has. That would be ideal, because Sushi is like all cat. Momo is like dog cat. Sushi is like literally all cat. Sushi's the one that does all the things that you yell at cats for doing. That is 100% Sushi. I don't have that issue with Mochi. Mochi very rarely does the things that you yell at cats for. Like, beyond jumping on the counters, because, you know, that's what Momo does. But Sushi is the one that climbs the shower curtains. If I had exposed screens, she would try to climb screens. She is literally the one to cause all of the chaos. And I'm like, you're such a chaos demon. She's such a gremlin butt. But anyways, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything, though. They're both absolute sweethearts. And Sushi's my Klingon, so if I'm doing something, I typically have a Sushi on me at all times. So, yeah, there's something. There's something for sure. That I could be doing better with my placement. That's one of the things that I'm trying to be good about my placement, but it's not going so great. I do have to say that with this grid being tightened up, it does make you have to be a little bit, I can't just slap and go with the tighter grid from Diamond Art Club, because things will be really obviously out of alignment if I just slap and go. So I have to be a little bit more aware of what I'm doing with my placement. But yes, you see the yellow behind there, but once I get rid of all of the yellow in the section, it's not going to be nearly as noticeable. So that's something that, yeah, it will be very, like, a little bit more clear cut once I do that. I just have to do a couple more colors here. So we're going to do this J, because that's up in here, and then it's down in here. Because I really want you guys to kind of see how this is turning out. with me doing this color swap. And really, I'm having, like, these are acrylic rounds that the 3 colors that I swapped, or 3 of the colors that I swapped are acrylic rounds, but they're really not bad. Like, and that's something that I really don't mind, acrylic rounds. I've never had an issue with them. They aren't something that is like, oh no, oh, they're acrylics. No, like, I do not care for acrylic squares, but then I also just don't care for squares, period. And rounds are fine. For me, I have no issues with rounds, acrylic rounds. I feel like you can work just fine with them. They're nowhere near as crazy as, yeah. I do have to say it's a little easier to like do my placement like this. It's a little bit easier. Well, it's not easier to place. It's easier to, you know, for comfort of not having to hide from my camera while I'm filming it for the WIP Chat / Kit Up and Chat. Well, now WIP Chat portion of it. Doing it filming flat. I do not know that I would tolerate filming flat very often, especially for a full-size canvas, but I may actually try doing some flat filming for you guys because it's a lot easier to set up to film flat like this than it is to film on my easel. So we're going to kind of bring it down a little bit, give you guys a chance to get a little bit of a further in look at this and see what we're doing. So this is round drills that I'm working on. And you can kind of see the areas where I do bad with my placement for that. But this is an AB right here. I'm going to try to fill in the rest of the yellows in this section for you guys. So that way we can see how it all looks and how it's going to look with the yellows done. So I'm doing an AB right now. I'm doing the AB 995 that I've done. So we're doing that at the moment. And then, yeah, we will get into some of the crystal ABs and all of that fun stuff. But I do have to say, I'm like really happy with how this is turning out. I could, if it really wanted to, I could add like a mica powder into, once I finish the canvas, I could add a mica powder around all of the blue drills that I've placed to kind of hide some of the yellow that you see down in there. But honestly, it does not bother me, so I'm going to leave it. I can guarantee you I'm going to end up leaving it as is. I'm not going to put mica powder in there. Some people totally would, and that's completely fine. You can grab like a light blue mica powder and use that on like this drill field here. Once you finish I would do it, and once you finish the entirety of the canvas, obviously. Oh, I missed 2 of that color. Let me pull out two drills of that color. There's 1 and 2. But anywho, I do have to say, like I said, I'm actually pretty pleased with how this is turning out so far. I think it's coming along nicely. And yeah, looking great having this as the color swaps. You can see how it's not nearly as obvious as what it was. I'm going to try to finish this section out for you guys. We will see how that goes timing wise and see. But basically, bottom line, don't be scared if you don't like the colors of some elements in the painting. Don't be scared to do a color swap. I'm not a big yellow fan. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and I originally did not buy this canvas because of the yellow. So then I was like, I had the thought, I actually saw somebody, this was not my idea. I saw somebody on the VIP group after this canvas came out that had replaced the yellows with blues, a different blue shade. I think I have the photo saved somewhere. I'd have to look it up and see. And I was like, you know what? I like that. I think I could do the same thing. So when this canvas came back in for a restock, I ended up buying it because I was like, well, I can totally get rid of all of that yellow. I just hadn't gotten my button gear to actually do it yet. So I figured, the event was the perfect time to do so because now, mix things up a little bit and do it for the event and give people the idea of seeing something a little bit different. So if anybody has been wanting to do something like this and didn't know where to start, well, me having done it kind of gives you that this is a great starting point. Because I did do a video of my process for you guys. I did go over my process. So really it's just a matter of you guys implementing it yourself. Because it was a very lengthy video. I was really torn there for a minute when it came time to do the video because when it came time to pick what colors I wanted to do. I literally I was so close. I was like so torn because I was like, well, do I want to do it as blue? Or I could do aqua colors, or I could do pinks. I was so torn on what color palette to go with for this canvas. My original thought had been to do blues. And so I literally, as I was filming that video, I kid you not, I literally stared at my computer screen or my iPad. Well, actually, no, I stared at the color the color swap cards that I had. I stared at those cards with all of the colors and drills on them for, I am not exaggerating when I say like a solid 10 minutes that I stared at it trying to figure out what color I wanted to do. I was like, do I want to go with blues? Do I want to go with pinks? Or do I want to go with like teals and aquas? 10 minutes of just like dead silence staring at it while I was recording this video. Obviously that got cut out and you guys did not see me, you know, pondering the dilemma. I ultimately could not decide. So in my lack of decision, I was like, well, what was my first instinct when I first saw this? I was like, I'm going to do it in blues. So let me go ahead and do it in blues. As much as I do love my aquas, and I think I probably would have, I would have been perfectly happy to do it in either aquas or pinks. At the same time, my original thought had been blue. So rather than, you know, contemplating and not being able to decide between pinks, teals, or blues, I'm like, I can't make this decision, so we're going to go with the first thing I thought of, which was blue. So that's why we ended up with blues on here, because that was the first thought that I had for it. So we're sticking with it. And it was just like, I could not decide. I'm like, it was so bad as I was trying to film that. Oh my goodness, was it so bad. Let's go ahead and fill these handful of drills right up here. So that little section will be done with the blues. And then we will fill in our crystal ABs over here. And then I will be able to show you guys what it looks like and go from there. So that's super exciting. You'll get to see like some finished yellow. I obviously have not finished the entire section because we've only knocked out a little bit. 'Cause I only have, you know, like 30 minutes to work on this. So let's see how it turns out. I am really pleased with how it's looking. I'm definitely going to be a fan of the blues over the yellow. And your eye really is not, yes, I can see the yellow back there, but it's something that your eye glosses over, which I figured is what would happen. That's just how your eyes work with color palettes. We're going to do symbol 8 first. That wants to be done first because it's a little bit of a brighter color. So it's yelling at me to be done. So we're going to do these. These are kind of like crystal pearl type AB things, crystal ABs. So we're going to pop these ones in here and go from there. They are a little bit larger, so I think based off of this, they're some of my oldest specials that I have. I've had them for a hot minute, so I think like if the grid was tightened, it means that they're going to be a little bit snugger on here. But that's fine. It's fine. They're not in like a massive color blocky section, so we're good. I'll just have to roll, like use my brayer on the canvas when I'm done, which I do anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So, yes, this is coming out nicely. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's looking fantastic. I'm actually really excited with this. I know I have not been chatting too much about actually, like, what I've been up to and what I've done and all of that today. But, I mean, I feel like, one, I'm a little off filming on not on my normal filming day. But then I'm also just so excited to be working on this canvas with these colors. All of the Liubkas are on my rainy day list. I have all of the Liubkas. I'm super fortunate that I have all of the Liubkas. I was able to trade someone for because I didn't get the Liubka in the mystery box. So I was able, cat schemes, but I was able to trade somebody because I got the, what is it? The room scene one, that artist, the dragon in book 1, which I don't even remember what the name of that are. Arya, no, it's not the Arya. I can't remember the name of that. Oh, Marigona Suli, that's what it was. I got the Marigona Suli, and one of my friends got the Liubka, so I ended up swapping with her because the Marigona Suli was really cute, but it was way too many browns for me. Now, if they come out with a Marigona Suli that's actually colorful and not all shades of brown, then I will actually end up buying one. But as of right now, I do not own any Marigona Sulis because of the brown color palette, because I'm very much somebody that if I'm not a fan of the color palette, I'm not going to spend my money on it because it's just going to sit there and languish in my hoard and I'll never actually do it, which was why I originally had not purchased this canvas, because I'm like, if I buy that and it's all yellows, I'm going to not want to work on it because of the yellows, and that's why I'm doing the color swap, because I do not care for yellows. I do have one of the Ivy Delamore's Weather Goddess. It's an absolute stunning painting, and I actually just recently pulled it out of my list and put it for destash. I have yet to actually go through and destash all of the stuff that's on my destash right now. I pulled it out to destash primarily because of the color palette, because it's all oranges and reds. It's a beautiful, beautiful canvas, which is why I bought it. But it's a it's massive. And 2, it's all like orange and reds. And the cats are having a field day, in case you wondered what those sounds were. It's them chaosing and chasing each other because it's like that time of day where they've been napping most of the day and now they're in like chaos. So I'm gonna have to roll this, put it on the floor and roll it when I'm done. Which again, I would be rolling it anyways, but I definitely will need to roll these drills down into place to get them placed. So now we just have one more color to do and that will be the end of our WIP and Chat for today, you guys. I'm super excited for this. Look at how cute this is. Oh my gosh, it's looking so awesome. I'm really pleased. I want to see, like, with this last color covered up, how it turns out and how it looks with that last orange tone covered. Because that's going to really kind of cement it for, you know, like that different look for it. And don't even bother asking me why I went with there. I do have to say these two are very similar colors. It's a very subtle color difference between the two. So I probably could have done something that was like a little bit of a more pronounced color difference between these two, but I feel like it's subtle, but I think it works. If it's, you know, just looks like it's the same color, oh well. It's just a subtle difference, but you know, I find I like it. I'm liking the look of it. I feel like that's turning out really great. I'm really pleased with it. So basically, as I did this, I didn't want to add, this wasn't a kit that I felt like needed a ton of special drills, just because sometimes the imagery is such that I'm like, I don't need all of the specials in it because of whatever the image is. And this, like, I'm not going to throw a ton of specials into like the body of the cat to give it like the fluffy cats. So even though these cute little black cats, they're so adorable. But I'm like, sometimes I do the less is more approach and I only add a handful of enhancements. Sometimes I go all out and I like literally add absolutely everything enhancement wise. It very much depends on my mood more. So it just depends on my mood and what the image is. That's really what it comes down to, because some images definitely lend themselves better for being blinged out and enhanced than others. Others, it's like I've had images and canvases that I'll like literally swap out like one color of, and that'll be it, just one color. Sometimes I'll do 3 or 4 colors. Some I will literally swap out 20 something colors. So it just really, a lot of it depends on the image. And I have got to tell you, once we finish covering up this orange, this is looking fantabulous. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to like peel off and put all of this down, and that way we can take a better look at it once I finish these last few drills that I have to place. This is why I don't like working flat, because I like to hold my tray, and I can't do that as easily flat. You can, but it's just not, it's a greater distance from tray to canvas when I'm doing it like this than if I'm working on my easel. But I might actually do my WIP and Chats flat like this, maybe. We will see if I feel motivated enough to do that. Oh my goodness, Mochi! She is like, I must knock everything over. Everything, absolutely everything, with her little like rushing through here to jump up. She did not take the path of least resistance to get into the windowsill, let me tell you that. So I will have to pick this stuff up that's on the desk all tipped over. Momo. All right, we are officially done with the WIP Chat. So now let me take care of this, and we're gonna turn we're gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna pull the plastic cover back over so we can actually flip this around and you guys can see it right side up. But I am honestly like really pleased with how this is looking. I think this is looking fantastic. We're gonna cover this back up right here and flip it around. I just have to move stuff so I can do that. And let's see what we got. Hey, Mo. I need to grab actual there. Okay. So here is kitchen cats, and then this is what it is looking like. So if we go off of like, look at that. Like, so yes, there is yellow there. And if you look closely, you 100% can still see the yellow behind the canvas, but look at how subtle it is when you see it. And like right in here, you don't even notice all of the yellow and orange behind those symbols. So this is going to look fantastic. I am really happy with it. I think this is turning out great. Do not lick the paper. No, Sushi. The thing that Mochi knocked over was a big roll of paper for my brush painting. And now Sushi's like, I'm going to lick the paper. Because she also eats tissues because, you know, she's ridiculous. Ridiculous, little cat. Ridiculous. Hey, Mo. Yeah, you. So, anywho, I am pleased with it. I would say this is definitely looking fantastic. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys like enjoyed kind of seeing that, what it looks like with the colors down, because that's super cool. But I kind of felt like I needed to do the yellows first, change them into the blues, and then go from there. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I will post some progress of this in the Facebook group so you guys can see what it looks like as I continue to progress and go from there. But have a great day, everybody. Bye.